And the difference comes in not asking why, but asking what or how. Hi, and welcome to Helping You Perform. I'm your host, Paul Teasdale. Over a career working with high-performing teams from across the globe, including 7 years working with Formula One team McLaren, I've learned a lot about what it takes to drive results. In this weekly podcast series, I'm going to be bringing you tips, tricks, and insights from the world of Formula One that you can apply to your organisation for your high performance. Enjoy. Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Helping You Perform, where I'm bringing my tips, tricks, insights and stories from the world of F1 to help you accelerate your own performance. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode, which is all about the pace of change and the heartbeat of your company, and what does that do to the attitude and risk aversion or risk appetite for change in your business, and most importantly, what can you do about it? So do have a listen to last week's episode. But today's episode takes a slightly different direction, and it comes off the back of a couple of things. And today I want to talk about the different questions that high performance teams ask themselves. This came about partly because of a Simon Sinek video that I watched and listened to, and then reflecting on my time at McLaren and time in F1 and with other high performance teams as well, and thinking about how they ask themselves different questions that other people tend to ask that aren't maybe as high performance. And the difference comes in not asking why, but asking what or how. And it's fairly simple, so maybe this week's episode is going to be quite short, but the thinking is that as soon as you start asking people why something happened, then they can start getting defensive. It's a really sort of emotive question that people get defensive about straight away. And all you have to do is go to your own children, if you've got some, or go to a colleague, something like that, and ask them, why did you do that? And immediately you can see people tense up, you can see them back off a little bit, and their responses tend to be, oh, I don't know, no, it wasn't me. Something about how they respond tends to be in that defensive space. So the question is, what can you do about it? Well, the great news is you can do something very simple. And I saw this all the time in the world of F1 and in a lot of the other high performance teams that I worked in. Yes, it's important to ask why things have happened or understand why they've happened, but you can go about it in a different way. So 2 questions you can ask in that situation. One of them is, how did this happen? What this does is it moves people away from the emotive and talks then about the facts, what actually happened in that moment, how did this situation come about, and they start to talk about the things that led to the result that's happened and the thing that you're questioning. And you can also ask what, and in particular, what are we going to do about this now? Or as a lead, you can also ask, what can I do to help you make sure this doesn't happen again? So that tends to lead to action. What is the action that we are going to take? Either what are you going to do? What am I going to do? What can I do to help? It's all about action that you can take to prevent the thing that's happened from happening again. So this is a really simple one, really, but it can be so powerful. So do have a think about this for yourself and try to put it into practice. Think of those situations where you want to know why a certain situation has happened. Why were sales figures down last quarter? Why are people in your team underperforming compared to others? Why is it that your performance isn't where I need it to be? Your development isn't where we agreed it was going to be last quarter? All those questions that are going to put people on the defensive. And try to rephrase that and set yourself up for better answers by saying things like, how has this come about? We see a result where your team isn't performing as to the same level as some of the others. How is this happening? And what can we do about it? And just see what the difference is for you and your team and your organization. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'd love to hear how you're putting this into practice, what you're getting out of it. and whether or not it's working for you and what results you're getting off the back of it. So please do get in touch. As always, you can get in touch with me via paulteasdale.co.uk. Take the advantage there of having that free 30-minute chat with me. Reach out. I've had some great conversations off the back of that. So don't be feeling as if you shouldn't be reaching out, because I'd love those conversations. I absolutely love having those chats with people just to see where people are at, what I can do to add value, maybe who I can connect you with, or maybe some tips and tricks that I haven't quite touched upon in some of these podcasts that I can talk to you about. They're going to help you accelerate your performance. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you get some real value out of such a simple yet powerful trick. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Helping You Perform podcast. If you found value in this episode, please take a moment to like, share, or review the podcast. You can reach out to me at any time, either through LinkedIn or through my website at www.paulteasdale.co.uk. I look forward to speaking to you in the next episode.